If you notice these physical changes in your body, you are awakening. The body is the temple of the soul. This timeless saying reminds us that our physical form is more than just flesh and bone. It is a sacred vessel of transformation and awakening. At Spiritual Wisdom, we believe that every shift in your body could be a divine message. Are you feeling unexpected changes, tingling sensations, strange pains, or sudden waves of energy? These could be signs that your soul is awakening and aligning with a higher frequency. In today's video, we'll explore the physical symptoms of spiritual awakening and how to embrace them as a powerful part of your journey. Have you experienced any of these signs? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if this resonates with your journey. 1. Amplified sensitivity. You wake up one day and realize that your body is responding differently to the world around you. Lights seem brighter, sounds sharper, scents more intense. The fabric of reality itself feels as if it's changed. And it has not because the world is different, but because you are awakening. This is not your imagination. This is the sacred unfolding of your inner transformation. One of the first signs that your spiritual awakening has begun is something many overlook: amplified sensitivity. It might catch you off guard at first. Suddenly, the hum of a streetlight feels like a roar. A stranger's cologne becomes overpowering. Even textures on your skin feel more pronounced. But what's really happening is that your body is beginning to align with a higher vibrational frequency. You are tuning into subtle energies, the very language of the soul. Your senses are being sharpened, not to overwhelm you, but to awaken you. Like an antenna that's finally pointed in the right direction, you're now receiving the signals of divine truth that were always present, but never fully perceived. This heightened sensitivity isn't just physical, it's deeply spiritual. It means you're becoming more aware, more connected, and more attuned to the unseen currents of life. Your body is beginning to serve its sacred role as a vessel of consciousness. Every vibration, every frequency, every ripple of energy that moves through the universe is now becoming accessible to you, not just intellectually, but viscerally. And this transformation doesn't stop at your environment. It flows into your relationships. You begin to feel people more deeply. You walk into a room and sense the tension or peace without a word being said. You look into someone's eyes and know their soul is crying out for healing. This is the gift of spiritual empathy, a kind of divine perception that cannot be learned in books or logic. It's awakened within you, through your senses, through your energy, through your spirit. To be sensitive is not to be weak. In fact, it's the opposite. It takes spiritual strength to feel this deeply in a world that encourages numbness. It takes courage to allow yourself to experience the fullness of life, to stand in the fire of intensity and not run from it. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is the fingerprint of your awakening. As your awareness deepens, so does your purpose. These changes in your body are not random. They are intentional. You are being prepared for something greater. You are being called to operate on a higher level, to walk in wisdom, to live in truth, to love with presence. The discomfort, the overstimulation, the emotional surges are all part of the sacred refinement that turns a man into a vessel of light. And so, when you notice these shifts, when the world begins to feel more intense, more alive, more real, don't pull away. Lean in. Listen. Honor the changes. Your body is not betraying you. It is guiding you home to yourself. This is your awakening in motion. This is your spirit rising. And in that rising, you are not just becoming more aware, you are becoming more you. The true you. The spiritual you. The awakened man who sees beyond the surface, who feels what others cannot, and who walks in tune with the heartbeat of the universe. So breathe into it. Embrace it. Let it transform you. Because every time your senses speak, your soul is whispering, you are awakening, and you are not alone. Are you experiencing amplified sensitivity? It's a powerful sign that your awareness is expanding and your energy is rising. If you're ready to embrace this transformation, comment below, "I welcome the shift," to affirm your journey. 2. Temperature fluctuations, hot, cold sensations. Maybe you've noticed your body experiencing random temperature changes moments where you feel unusually warm or strangely cold, even though the environment hasn't changed. These aren't just odd sensations or coincidences. They are subtle but powerful signs that your body is undergoing an energetic shift, an early signal that you may be experiencing a spiritual awakening. During a spiritual awakening, your entire being begins to shift mind, soul, and body. While many people focus on the emotional or mental aspects of awakening, the truth is that your physical body plays a major role in this process too. One of the clearest ways it communicates this shift is through temperature fluctuations. These sensations, sudden heat, or unexpected chills, are not random. They are evidence that your energy is adjusting to a new spiritual frequency. Your inner world is changing, and your body is trying to keep up. When you feel sudden warmth, especially in your hands, chest, or spine, this is often a sign of Kundalini energy beginning to rise. Kundalini, often described as a dormant spiritual energy located at the base of the spine, awakens during moments of deep transformation. As this energy begins to move upward, it can create waves of heat. This heat is not physical in nature. Doctors won't find a fever, but it feels incredibly real. It's the fire of your soul being lit, the spiritual energy within you, activating and ascending. It can be powerful, even overwhelming, but it is a sacred sign that something beautiful is happening within. On the other hand, if you experience sudden chills or feel cold without explanation, this too is meaningful. These cold sensations often occur when you are absorbing higher vibrational energy from your surroundings. You may be in the presence of strong spiritual energy, divine light, angels, or high-frequency vibrations that your body is not yet fully accustomed to. These chills are your body's way of responding to these spiritual encounters, recalibrating your inner system to handle the new frequency. It's like your soul is tuning into a higher station, and your body is catching up with the signal. Whether it's heat or cold, these temperature shifts are not to be ignored. They are messages from your higher self, letting you know that a transformation is underway. Your physical body, the sacred vessel of your spirit, is adjusting to new waves of consciousness and inner growth. These are not just sensations, they are signs of awakening. As you continue along your spiritual journey, you may notice these signs becoming more frequent. The more you connect with your inner self, the more sensitive your body becomes to spiritual energy. You'll begin to recognize when something is shifting, when energy is rising, when your soul is being stretched, when your spirit is aligning with a higher truth. So if you've been experiencing these strange but powerful physical changes, trust them. Don't brush them off. Your body is not malfunctioning, it is awakening. You are becoming more attuned, more connected, more aligned with your divine essence, and that is something to celebrate. Comment below. I am aligning with higher energy. If you're experiencing these powerful shifts and embracing your spiritual transformation. 3. Tingling or electric sensations. Electric touch. Have you ever felt a gentle tingling, a subtle vibration, or what feels like an electric current dancing on the crown of your head or between your eyebrows right where your third eye resides? If so, this isn't just a random physical sensation. It's a powerful sign that your energy body is awakening and aligning with a deeper, more divine consciousness. These sensations, often referred to as the electric touch, are not merely biological. They are spiritual in nature. They signal that you are beginning to open up energetically, preparing to receive higher frequencies of spiritual light and wisdom. As your spiritual journey deepens, your body begins to respond. You are no longer just a physical being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being becoming more aware of the divine blueprint within you. The tingling at the top of your head is often associated with the activation of the crown chakra, the gateway to universal consciousness. When this chakra begins to open, it creates a bridge between your human awareness and the infinite intelligence of the universe. The vibration between your eyebrows, on the other hand, is linked to your third eye, the center of intuition, spiritual vision, and inner knowing. When this center activates, you start to perceive truth beyond the five senses. You may begin to see things with your inner eye or feel a profound sense of knowing that cannot be explained logically. These physical changes are evidence that your energy body, your spiritual body, is shifting into higher alignment. You are integrating more light. You are becoming a clearer vessel for divine truth. Just as a radio must be finely tuned to pick up a signal, your body is being tuned to receive frequencies of love, wisdom, and spiritual power that were previously outside your conscious awareness. The tingling is like a signal that your antenna is finally up and the universe is responding. Famous philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin once said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." And as you begin to notice these subtle changes, this quote takes on a whole new meaning. What you're experiencing is not random. It's sacred. It's confirmation that something within you is awakening, remembering, and realigning with the greater truth of who you are. Do not be afraid of these sensations. Do not dismiss them as strange or unusual. Instead, honor them. Sit in stillness. Breathe. Allow yourself to receive. You may also notice heightened sensitivity to energy, a stronger intuition, or even a desire to be alone more often. These are all signs that your soul is rising, that your spirit is leading, and that your physical body is trying to keep up with the divine transformation happening within you. Spiritual awakening is not always loud and dramatic. It often begins quietly, in the still moments, in the soft vibrations, in the whispers of energy moving through your body. Trust what you feel. Trust the process. And most of all, trust the divine intelligence that is guiding you from within. This is the beginning of something extraordinary. You are awakening, and your body is the sacred vessel through which the light enters. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to activate the notification bell so you never miss powerful insights like this. Keep aligning with divine energy and expanding your spiritual awareness. Type in the comments, "I am open to divine activation and higher consciousness." 4. Unexplained body pain, especially neck, shoulders, back. Have you been feeling unusual aches or pains in your body, especially around your neck, shoulders, or back, with no clear medical reason? If so, you're not alone. What you're experiencing could be a powerful sign that your body and soul are going through a spiritual transformation. These unexplained sensations are not just physical discomforts. They are messengers, calling your attention to something deeper, something energetic, emotional, and profoundly spiritual. When we begin to awaken spiritually, our entire being starts to shift. The body, which holds on to emotions, memories, and energetic patterns, often begins to release what no longer serves us. This can manifest as tension, stiffness, or pain in areas like the neck and shoulders, places where we subconsciously carry stress, burdens, and emotional weight. As the old energies are released, space is created within us for higher frequencies of light, love, and awareness. The discomfort is not punishment, it is purification. The pain is not a setback, it is sacred preparation. Spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle once said, "The body is a field of consciousness. It responds to inner states." This couldn't be more true when you are on the path of awakening. The body is not separate from your soul's journey. It is an active participant. When you feel back pain, it may be your body's way of helping you release fear, insecurity, or deep emotional wounds you've carried for years. These pains are signs that your energy is shifting, your soul is healing, and your vibration is rising. Think of it like this: your spiritual system is upgrading. Just like a computer running an old program might crash during an update, your body can feel strained as it adjusts to a new level of spiritual clarity and power. But trust this process. It's not random. It's intelligent. Your body is clearing out dense, heavy energy that keeps you stuck in fear, doubt, or limitation. And in doing so, it is aligning you with your true spiritual potential. Sometimes, this release happens when you're resting. Other times, it may strike unexpectedly during your day. You may feel a sudden heaviness in your shoulders or a strange tightness in your back. Don't panic. Instead, breathe deeply. Acknowledge the sensation. Speak to your body with compassion and ask it what it needs. Often, simply being aware and present with the pain is enough to allow it to pass. Remember, spiritual awakening isn't always about light and bliss. Sometimes, it's about sitting with discomfort and allowing the energy to move through you. It's about listening when your body speaks and understanding that true healing comes not just through the mind, but through every cell of your being. So if you're experiencing these mysterious physical shifts, take heart. You're not broken. You're becoming whole. You're not falling apart. You're awakening. Your body is not your enemy. It is your sacred ally in this transformation. And as Rumi so beautifully said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. Embrace the process, trust your path, and know that this is a divine sign that you are stepping into the next level of your spiritual evolution. If you're experiencing this, your body is releasing old energy to make space for the new. Comment below. I welcome healing energy to align with your energetic cleansing and inner transformation. 5. Sleep pattern changes. If you've been waking up between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning, night after night, it's not just a random disturbance in your sleep, it's something much deeper. This seemingly unusual shift in your sleep pattern is actually one of the most common physical signs that you are going through a spiritual awakening. Your body is not malfunctioning. Your soul is trying to speak. This early morning window between 2 and 4 a.m. is often referred to as the spiritual window for a reason. It is believed to be the time when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is at its thinnest. In these quiet hours, your energy field is more open and receptive, making it an ideal moment for you to receive what are known as spiritual downloads. Those sudden bursts of insight, clarity, or inner knowing that seem to come out of nowhere. You might not understand it right away, but something within you is being aligned with higher truth. Many people who are going through a spiritual awakening report that during this time, they begin to experience vivid dreams, not just ordinary dreams, but ones that carry deep symbolic meaning or emotional intensity. These dreams are often filled with guidance, memories, or even messages from your higher self or the divine. You may wake up feeling emotionally stirred or profoundly moved, even if you can't remember the full dream. That's because your subconscious is processing something significant. It is working in harmony with your soul to help you release, realign, and rise. Waking up in the middle of the night can feel frustrating if you're used to getting a full night's rest. But when it begins to happen consistently during these specific hours, it's not a disruption, it's a calling. Something inside of you is awakening. Something deep is shifting. You are being invited into a new awareness, a deeper level of consciousness that you may have ignored before. What feels like restlessness is actually a sign of alignment. You're not broken. You're becoming whole. Rather than resisting these awakenings, lean into them. Use that sacred time to sit in stillness. Breathe deeply, pray, or journal your thoughts. You don't need to have all the answers. Just acknowledging that this is part of your awakening journey can bring a sense of peace and purpose. What you're experiencing is not strange, it's sacred. So, if you've been noticing this physical change in your sleep, understand that it's more than a coincidence. You're not just waking up, you're waking up in every sense of the word. Your consciousness is expanding, your soul is rising, and you are beginning to align with the deeper truth of who you are. If this message resonates with your soul, leave a comment of faith. I welcome divine insight in the stillness of the night. I am open to receiving spiritual guidance and higher wisdom. 6. Skin changes. During a spiritual awakening, your entire system, mind, body, and soul begins to shift. It's as though your inner world starts to upgrade itself, and the outer world, including your physical body, reflects these changes. One of the most telling signs is what happens to your skin. As your energy field purifies and your vibration elevates, toxins that have been stored in your body, some for years, begin to release. This detoxification process often shows up on your skin. You might see breakouts, rashes, unusual spots, or even experience a radiant glow you can't quite explain. That's not just biology, that's alchemy. Your skin is the largest organ of your body, and it is deeply connected to your emotional and energetic state. Ancient traditions have long understood that what happens on the inside will always find a way to express itself on the outside. So, when your soul begins its journey of awakening, when your spirit begins to remember its divine nature, your skin becomes a canvas for that transformation. As spiritual energy flows more freely through your body, it activates dormant codes of light within you. These energy upgrades can literally change your physical appearance. Some spiritual traditions refer to this as light body activation, a process where your body starts to hold more light, more energy, and a higher vibration. And when you hold more light, your skin may glow, shimmer, or radiate in a way that others can even notice. You may not just look different, you feel different. This process isn't always comfortable. Sometimes, what looks like a breakout is really your body releasing years of suppressed emotion or energetic blockages. You're not falling apart, you're clearing space. The old is making way for the new. It's like the words of Carl Jung. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. But this pain is sacred. It is spiritual growth in motion. So, if your skin is changing, if you're glowing from within, or even if you're experiencing irritation or marks, take it as a sacred sign. Your body is not betraying you. It's aligning with a higher frequency. It's responding to your spiritual evolution. You are not alone in this. Many people around the world are awakening right now, each on their own journey, each experiencing similar signs and wonders. Your outer glow is a mirror of your inner growth. As within, so without. As above, so below. What you are seeing is not just a change in appearance, it is a manifestation of deeper healing, deeper alignment, and deeper love. Let this reassure you. You are on the right path. These physical signs are spiritual confirmations that something greater is unfolding within you. Embrace it, trust it, and remember, the wound is the place where the light enters you, as Rumi beautifully said. Stay present with your journey. Your body is speaking the language of your soul. Listening to it, honor it, and let it guide you toward the divine light you were always meant to carry. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your experience in the comments below. Let's keep exploring the signs of energetic transformation together. 7. Energy fluctuations. Have you been feeling waves of energy moving through your body? One moment you're full of life, and the next, you're completely drained? These physical changes might seem confusing or even frustrating at first, but they are actually one of the clearest signs that you are going through a spiritual awakening. During a spiritual awakening, your body begins to respond to subtle energetic shifts that are happening at a deep level. You may start to notice intense bursts of energy where you feel incredibly inspired, motivated, and full of purpose. Your mind may race with new ideas. Your heart might feel more open, and you may suddenly feel a strong connection to the universe, to nature, or to people around you. These are moments when your energy is syncing with higher frequencies, when your soul is waking up. But just as quickly, those bursts can be followed by waves of fatigue. You may feel physically exhausted, emotionally sensitive, or mentally foggy. And that's not because something is wrong. Your body is simply trying to catch up. It's learning how to process and balance these powerful new energies. Think of it like downloading a large software update. Your system needs time to integrate everything properly. This ebb and flow of energy is natural. It's a sacred rhythm. When you're riding a high, you're being shown the power of your awakened state. And when you drop into rest, your body is absorbing, adjusting, and aligning. You are not broken. You are being rewired. This cycle of energetic highs, followed by lows, is a crucial part of spiritual growth. It teaches you to slow down, to listen, and to surrender. Your body, mind, and soul are being realigned. Old energies are being released, and new, higher frequencies are being welcomed in. It's no longer just about survival. It's about transformation. If you're experiencing this, give yourself grace. Don't fight the tiredness. Don't question the bursts of energy. Trust that your body is becoming a vessel for something greater. You are expanding, awakening, and stepping into a new way of being. So what should you take away from all of this? First, understand that these fluctuations are not signs of weakness. They are signs of awakening. Second, honor your body's rhythms. When you feel energized, create. When you feel tired, rest. Third, realize that this is part of a larger spiritual journey, one that is guiding you toward your highest self. A spiritual awakening isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. The physical changes you're experiencing are messages from your soul saying, you are waking up, you are ready, keep going. Let this be your reminder. What you're feeling is not chaos, it's transformation. And transformation is how the soul evolves. If you're still with us and this message resonates, comment, I'm balancing my energy below. Your feedback helps us grow and stay aligned with you. 8. Ringing or buzzing in the ears. Have you ever found yourself hearing a strange, high-pitched ringing in your ears? One that has no medical explanation, no physical source, and seems to come out of nowhere. Maybe it's a soft buzz, a tone, or a frequency that only you can hear. If so, you're not alone. What you may be experiencing isn't just a random occurrence or something to brush off. It's often a profound sign that you're undergoing a spiritual awakening. This mysterious sound, often called spiritual ringing, is more than just a biological quirk. It's like a divine notification that your soul is tuning into higher frequencies, realms of consciousness that exist beyond the physical world. Think of it as your spirit's way of saying, you're ready now. You're beginning to see beyond the veil. Ringing in the ears during awakening is one of the most common signs that you are becoming more energetically sensitive. Your body and mind are starting to perceive subtle energies that are always around us, but usually go unnoticed. These frequencies are the whispers of the universe, the language of higher dimensions. They're not there to scare you, they're an invitation. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. Ram Dass. This quote reminds us that sometimes what seems like a strange sound is actually a message waiting to be heard, not with your ears, but with your spirit. When you begin to awaken spiritually, your entire mental, emotional, and physical state starts to shift. Your nervous system becomes more sensitive. You start noticing patterns, synchronicities, and yes, even physical sensations that weren't there before. That ringing, it may be a sign that you're connecting with higher consciousness, with guides, angels, or the divine intelligence that governs the cosmos. Some spiritual teachers believe that these high-pitched tones are frequencies from higher realms trying to get your attention. Others say it's your higher self aligning with a new vibration, something more in tune with truth, light, and purpose. Either way, the key is to listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. Don't panic if the sound comes and goes. That's perfectly normal. You're not broken. You're evolving. You're being attuned, much like an instrument being calibrated to play in harmony with the universe. What's even more fascinating is that these physical shifts often coincide with emotional or mental breakthroughs. You might find yourself questioning old beliefs, releasing emotional baggage, or feeling drawn to spend more time in nature or solitude. This is your spiritual intelligence waking up. It's not just about hearing a noise, it's about awakening to an entirely new reality where everything is connected, meaningful, and filled with unseen guidance. You do not need to seek freedom in a different land, for it exists with your own body, heart, mind, and soul. B.K.S. Iyengar. Your body is the sacred temple where your awakening happens. It is the bridge between your soul and the infinite cosmos. So the next time you hear that ringing pause, don't rush to fix it. Instead, breathe, listen, reflect. You may be receiving divine insight or spiritual alignment. Maybe you're tapping into universal intelligence. Maybe you're being reminded of your soul's path. Remember, awakening is not a destination. It's a journey, a process. And every sign along the way, even something as subtle as a tone in your ear, is part of your divine unfolding. You are not alone. You are not imagining it. You are awakening. Stay curious. Stay open. Stay grounded. Because as your spiritual perception grows, so will your sense of connection to something greater. A love, a light, and a truth that has been with you all along. Comment below. I hear the higher realms. If you believe your spiritual senses are awakening, and let us continue to grow together, tuning into divine frequencies and expanding our awareness. And remember, these physical changes are just the beginning. As your body, mind, and soul align, you're stepping into a higher frequency, a deeper truth. Spiritual awakening is not always comfortable, but it is always transformative. There's so much more to discover on this journey. So if you're curious about what comes next, make sure to like this video, share it with someone on the path, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos that dive even deeper into the mysteries of awakening. Your journey is sacred. Keep going, and we'll be right here, walking beside you. Chosen ones, PPL finally realized how wise you are. Someone is regretting not believing you. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Albert Einstein. As a chosen one, you've walked a path that many couldn't understand until now. The very wisdom they once dismissed is now what they seek. Those who doubted you, misunderstood you, or even ridiculed you are beginning to realize the depth of your insight. But the real question is, how will you use this newfound recognition? Will you let it validate your journey, or will you continue to walk your path with quiet confidence? Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced this shift? Let's inspire each other to embrace our wisdom and keep shining our light. 1. People once dismissed you, but now they realize your wisdom. They dismissed you. They laughed at your words, ridiculed your insights, and disregarded your wisdom. You spoke with conviction, guided by a deep spiritual understanding, but they refused to listen. Now, time has revealed the truth. The very things you warned about, the very wisdom they rejected, have come to pass. And while they try to convince themselves that it's all just coincidence, deep down, they know you were right all along. Chosen ones have always been misunderstood. Their vision extends beyond the immediate, perceiving truths that others are blind to. When you shared your insights, they were met with skepticism. People mocked you, dismissing your words as mere speculation. But wisdom is like a seed planted in the right moment. It eventually bears fruit. Now, as reality aligns with what you foresaw, those who once doubted you are beginning to reflect. Regret lingers in the hearts of those who refused to listen. Perhaps it was pride that kept them from acknowledging your wisdom. Or maybe they feared the truth you spoke. But as events unfold and confirm everything you once said, they can no longer ignore it. Some are now seeking your guidance, subtly watching from the shadows, hoping to understand what they once disregarded. Spiritual wisdom is not given to everyone, and that is why the chosen ones stand apart. Your ability to see beyond illusions, to perceive what others overlook, is a gift. It is not arrogance, nor is it a coincidence. It is the result of deep spiritual awareness, cultivated through life's trials and divine connection. And while the world may have tried to silence you, truth has a way of making itself known. There is power in patience. You did not force your wisdom upon them. You simply spoke your truth and allowed time to reveal what was hidden. Now, those who once dismissed you are waking up. They may not openly admit their mistakes, but their actions speak volumes. They are watching, learning, and slowly coming to terms with the reality they once refused to accept. This is a time of validation, not for ego, but for understanding. The chosen ones do not seek revenge or vindication. They continue to walk their spiritual path, offering wisdom to those who are ready to receive it. Remember, your gift is not meant to be wasted on those who refuse to see. Instead, it is meant for those who are prepared to embrace the truth and embark on their own journey of awakening. If you've ever been dismissed, mocked, or ignored only for time to reveal your wisdom, know that your insight was never in vain. The truth always rises. Comment below. My wisdom speaks for itself if you trust in your inner knowing and the power of divine timing. 2. The truth always reveals itself. Luke 8:17 says, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open." This verse is a powerful reminder that truth has its own timing. It does not ask for permission, nor does it wait for validation. It simply reveals itself when the moment is right. And now, those who once ignored your wisdom can no longer deny its reality. For so long, you have carried deep insights, seeing beyond the surface while others dismissed you. Maybe they laughed, doubted, or even ridiculed your understanding. But now, as time unfolds, the very truths you spoke of the wisdom they once rejected are manifesting before their eyes. They are realizing that your words were not empty, your intuition was not misplaced, and your vision was never just imagination. Those who once questioned you now find themselves trapped in the undeniable proof of what you have always known. It is not that you sought to prove anyone wrong, nor did you need their approval. The path of a chosen one is not about validation from the outside world, but about staying true to the wisdom within. You have endured rejection, loneliness, and even moments of self-doubt, yet you remain steadfast. Spiritual awakening is not an easy journey. It requires strength, patience, and a deep trust in divine timing. The lessons you shared, the warnings you gave, and the wisdom you carried were never meant to be immediately accepted by everyone. Instead, they were seeds planted in the minds of those around you, waiting for the right conditions to grow. Now, as people witness the unfolding of events, they regret not listening to you sooner. Some may apologize, while others stay silent, unable to admit their mistakes. But you do not need their words to validate your truth. The greatest confirmation comes not from their regret, but from knowing that you stood firm in your purpose. You were chosen for a reason to see, to understand, and to guide. The journey may have been isolating at times, but the universe was always aligning things in your favor. So, what does this mean for you now? It is a reminder that your wisdom is a gift. Never dim your light just because others do not understand it yet. Stay true to your spiritual path and continue sharing your insights, whether they are accepted immediately or not. Some will awaken through your words, others through their experiences, but the truth will always rise. Let go of resentment. For those who once doubted you are now facing their own lessons. And as they finally recognize the wisdom you carried all along, step forward with grace, knowing that your purpose remains the same: to illuminate, to inspire, and to guide those who are ready. Are you ready to embrace the power of truth? If so, comment below. Truth always prevails, to affirm your trust in divine revelation. Let the light of truth guide your path. 3. Their regret is heavy. You have walked a path that few understand, a journey of spiritual growth, deep wisdom, and unwavering faith. And yet, along the way, you have faced skepticism, mockery, and dismissal. They laughed at your insights, ridiculed your beliefs, and rejected your truth. But now, as time unfolds, the truth becomes undeniable. They are beginning to see what you saw all along. Think back to those moments when people doubted you. They thought your words were just fantasies, your warnings unnecessary, and your spiritual awareness irrelevant. You may have been cast aside, ignored, or even made to feel like an outsider. But the truth has a way of revealing itself in time. As their lives take unexpected turns, failed careers, broken relationships, shattered illusions, they are forced to confront the reality they once refused to acknowledge. There's a famous saying by Mahatma Gandhi: first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. That is exactly what is happening now. Those who dismissed you are now facing the consequences of their choices. The illusions they once clung to are crumbling before their eyes. What once seemed solid is now fragile, and the truth they denied is standing tall before them. But here's the beauty of being a chosen one. You don't even need to say, "I told you so." The universe is speaking for you. Life is the ultimate teacher, and those who doubted you are now sitting in the very lessons you tried to warn them about. They feel it deep in their souls, the regret, the longing, the realization that you were never wrong. And while their egos may not allow them to admit it out loud, their hearts know the truth. You have always been guided by a higher wisdom. Your spiritual awareness gave you clarity when others were lost in confusion. You saw beyond the material world, beyond illusions, beyond what was immediately visible. And while it may have been painful to watch people reject what you knew was right, you never stopped walking your path. You stayed true to your purpose, and now the world is catching up to your understanding. This is not a moment for revenge or bitterness. It is a moment for grace, a moment for you to stand firm in your wisdom, not with arrogance, but with deep, quiet confidence. You were never seeking validation from them. You already had the truth within you. And now, as they begin to see what you saw, let your heart remain open. Because the greatest victory is not proving them wrong, but inspiring them to seek the light for themselves. Remember what Rumi said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Their struggles, their regrets, their moments of realization, these are the cracks through which wisdom will enter. Some will come back, seeking your guidance. Others will watch from a distance, learning in silence. And a few may still resist, but that is not your concern. Your only task is to continue shining, continue growing, and continue walking the divine path set before you. Have you ever witnessed someone who once doubted you, now facing the weight of their regrets? If so, share your thoughts in the comments so others can reflect and learn. If not, comment, "I see it now," to acknowledge the power of transformation and karma at work. 4. They ignored the warnings. Now they're suffering. The same people who once ignored your insights or doubted your wisdom are beginning to see the truth, and for some, regret has set in. There was a time when people around you were mesmerized by the flashy, the loud, and the seemingly powerful. They admired those who spoke with confidence, even when their words lacked truth. They followed leaders, influencers, or even friends who knew how to manipulate emotions but lacked real integrity. You, however, always had the gift of discernment. You could see through the illusions, sensing when something wasn't right, even when others were blinded by appearances. While they were captivated by deception, you remained anchored in spiritual wisdom. But at that time, few valued your insight. Many dismissed your warnings, thinking you were just being skeptical, overly cautious, or even jealous. They couldn't see that you were trying to guide them away from destruction. But illusions can only last for so long. Everything they placed their trust in status, false promises, and temporary pleasures is now unraveling before their eyes. The very people they admired have let them down. The so-called success they chased turned out to be hollow. The relationships they thought were built on trust are revealing their cracks. And in the midst of all this chaos, they now see you differently. The words you once spoke, the advice you once gave, the intuition you always had, it all makes sense now. They realize that you were not trying to control or criticize them. You were simply seeing what they could not. For some, this realization brings deep regret. They wish they had listened, that they had valued your wisdom when they had the chance. While their world shakes, you stand firm. Not because you are immune to hardship, but because you prepared. You saw this coming, not in a way that makes you arrogant, but in a way that proves the depth of your spiritual insight. While others built their lives on shifting sands, you chose to root yourself in truth. And now, the same people who once overlooked you may seek your guidance. Some will come with humility, ready to learn. Others may struggle with their pride, unwilling to admit they were wrong. But whether they acknowledge it or not, they see the difference. They see the strength of someone who chose spiritual wisdom over temporary validation. Being a chosen one means carrying wisdom that is not always recognized in the moment. It means seeing beyond the surface and understanding deeper truths. It also means walking a lonely path at times, as many will only realize your value after experiencing the consequences of their choices. But do not hold bitterness in your heart. Instead, continue to walk in your truth, knowing that spiritual wisdom is not about proving others wrong, but about staying aligned with what is right. Some will come back with open hearts, ready to listen, Others may never admit their mistake, but deep down, they know. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom on recognizing deception, sharpening your discernment, and staying ahead while others fall behind. 5. They now watch you in silence. They hesitate to say your name, avoiding conversations where you are mentioned. They pretend as if nothing happened, as if they never wronged you, yet their actions tell a different story. Secretly, they listen to your words, reread your messages, and observe your every move. They watch in silence, realizing what they once ignored: the depth of your wisdom, the clarity of your vision, and the truth you carried long before they were ready to see it. The very ones who doubted you are now regretting their disbelief. Their pride keeps them from admitting it, but deep inside, they know they were wrong. You stood firm when no one believed in you, when the world tried to convince you that you were mistaken. But your spiritual awakening allowed you to see beyond illusions, to understand truths that others were not yet ready to grasp. Now, as the fog of ignorance lifts, they begin to see what you always knew. They recall the times you warned them, the wisdom you shared, and the lessons you tried to teach. The same knowledge they rejected now haunts them because they realize you were speaking from a place of divine insight. This is what happens when a chosen one walks the path of truth. People resist it at first, fearing what they do not understand. They mock what threatens their comfortable illusions. But time has a way of revealing the truth. The seeds you planted in their minds have started to grow. They are beginning to connect the dots, to see the wisdom they once ignored. Some will try to reconnect with you, seeking guidance, while others will suffer in silence, ashamed of their past doubts. Either way, their hearts cannot escape the truth they once had the opportunity to learn from you, and they let it slip away. But you do not seek their validation. You never needed their approval to walk in your purpose. You were chosen for a reason, and your journey was never meant to be understood by everyone. The world often misunderstands those who are ahead of their time. But that is the nature of spiritual awakening. You see beyond the veil, while others are still trapped in the illusion. The regret of those who doubted you is not your burden to carry. Your role is to keep shining, keep growing, and keep sharing your wisdom. Let their regret be their teacher. So, if you ever feel alone on this path, remember this: the world may not always recognize a chosen one in the moment, but in time, the truth always reveals itself. And when it does, those who doubted will wish they had listened. Keep walking your path with confidence, knowing that your wisdom is a gift. Stay true to your calling, and never dim your light for those who refuse to see. Do you feel their silent presence? If you do, declare it boldly in the comments. They watch in silence, but I rise in power. 6. They won't admit it, but they are learning from you. The same ones who mocked your mindset, calling you too deep or too different, are now imitating your way of thinking. It's almost ironic, isn't it? When you first shared your insights, they looked at you as if you were speaking a foreign language. But now, the world is catching up. At one point, your spiritual wisdom was something they rejected. Your words seemed too unconventional, too ahead of their time. They called you delusional, too idealistic, or even strange. But fast forward to today, and the very thoughts they ridiculed are now being praised by experts, leaders, and influencers. The same spiritual truths they dismissed are now being taught in seminars, quoted in books, and shared on social media as profound revelations. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." And you, dear chosen one, have done just that. You stayed true to your wisdom, even when no one believed in you. Now, those same people are realizing that what you spoke was the truth all along. Perhaps the most fascinating part is that they now act as if they always understood. They present your insights as if they were theirs, conveniently forgetting the days they doubted you. But deep down, they know. They remember who first planted the seed of wisdom that they now embrace. It's a cycle that many spiritually awakened souls experience. The chosen ones, the visionaries, the deep thinkers, you all share a similar journey. The world resists what it does not understand, and people fear what challenges their limited perspectives. But eventually, truth has a way of making itself known. First, they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you. Then you win. These words, often attributed to Mahatma Gandhi, resonate deeply with your journey. This moment in your life is not an accident. Everything happens according to divine timing. The world wasn't ready when you first spoke your truth, but that doesn't mean your wisdom was ever wrong. It was simply ahead of its time. Now, as more people awaken spiritually, they begin to see what you've seen all along. They realize that wisdom isn't just about knowledge. It's about understanding, experience, and spiritual depth. What once seemed radical is now recognized as insight. It's easy to feel frustrated or even betrayed. After all, you endured the ridicule, the isolation, the doubt. Now the same people who rejected you want to learn from you. But instead of bitterness, take this as confirmation. You were never wrong. You were just ahead. Be proud that you stayed true to your spiritual path despite opposition. Let this be a reminder that your wisdom is a gift. And while some may take longer to recognize it, those who are truly meant to hear your message will find you when the time is right. Chosen ones, your wisdom is not meant for everyone. But for those who are ready, it will be life-changing. Keep speaking, keep believing, and keep growing. The world may be late in realizing your value, but the truth always finds its way. And when it does, you will be standing firm, knowing that you never needed their validation in the first place. If this message resonates with you, drop a comment of truth. I know my wisdom speaks louder than their doubts. My growth inspires, even when they won't admit it. Keep shining your light and walking in your purpose. 7. They thought you would fail, but you thrived. They assumed you needed their validation to move forward, but they were wrong. You have always walked a different path, guided by spiritual wisdom rather than the fleeting opinions of others. Now, as they struggle with their own choices, they are beginning to realize what they failed to see before. You were never just another face in the crowd. You were chosen. People have placed limitations on you, convincing themselves that their opinions shaped your destiny. They expected you to seek their validation, to shrink yourself just to fit into their narrow perception of success. But true wisdom does not require approval. It thrives in solitude, in deep reflection, and in unwavering faith. While they waited for you to conform, you did something they never expected. You broke free. You chose self-discovery over external validation. Instead of looking to them for direction, you trusted the spiritual path unfolding before you. The strength they once doubted in you has now become undeniable, leaving them questioning their own misjudgments. Some people secretly hoped you would fail. They stood on the sidelines, expecting to see you stumble under the weight of their doubt. They underestimated the power of resilience, underestimating you. But what they failed to realize is that being chosen comes with divine strength. While they saw obstacles as barriers, you saw them as stepping stones. Every setback you faced only deepened your wisdom, making you more unshakable. And as they waited for your downfall, you soared past them, ascending to new heights they never imagined possible. Life has a way of humbling those who cast judgment too soon. The same people who doubted you are now watching in disbelief as you rise not because of them, but despite them. Karma has an undeniable rhythm, and the universe always restores balance. Those who once looked down on you now find themselves lost, seeking answers in the very places they once dismissed. While they struggle with the consequences of their choices, you stand firm, grounded in the spiritual wisdom you have cultivated. The tables have turned. Now, they look at you with regret, wishing they had believed in you when they had the chance. But you no longer seek their acknowledgement because you have something far greater: self-mastery, inner peace, and divine guidance. What once seemed like a disadvantage has become your greatest strength. The rejection you faced was merely redirection. The loneliness you endured was preparation. Every hardship, every moment of being misunderstood was shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. You were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to stand out. Let this be a reminder to anyone who has ever been doubted: your value doesn't decrease because someone else fails to see it. Keep moving forward, keep trusting in your spiritual journey, and let your success speak louder than their doubts ever did. Stay connected with our empowering community by subscribing to our channel. Here, we share stories of resilience, transformation, and the unstoppable power within you. Remember, you don't need anyone's approval to thrive. You were born to rise, shine, and succeed. Keep believing in yourself and let your journey inspire others. 8. They are forced to acknowledge the truth. Many people struggle to admit they were wrong, not because they don't see the truth, but because their pride won't let them. They would rather suffer in silence than acknowledge that they misjudged you. Yet deep down, they know they failed to recognize your wisdom when it mattered most. As you walk further along your path of spiritual awakening, you'll notice that the very people who once doubted you are now watching you closely. They may not say it outright, but their actions reveal a quiet shift. They seek your insights, trying to understand what makes you different. They remember the moments when you spoke with clarity and conviction, offering them guidance they ignored. Now, they're realizing that if they had truly listened, they could have avoided many of the struggles they face today. For the chosen ones, this is nothing new. You have always seen beyond the surface, sensing truths that others dismissed. You have walked through storms that would have broken the average person, yet you emerged stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. Your journey was never about proving yourself to anyone. It was about becoming the highest version of yourself, regardless of who believed in you. The irony is that now, after all the ridicule rejection, and skepticism, people are finally recognizing the depth of your wisdom. The same ones who turned away from you are quietly observing, reflecting on the choices they made. Some will carry their regret in silence, too ashamed to admit they were wrong. Others will humble themselves, hoping to reconnect, hoping to learn what they once dismissed. But here's the truth. Your path isn't about seeking validation. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. A spiritual awakening sets you apart, not because you are better, but because you are willing to see and embrace reality while others cling to illusion. You were called to break free from patterns that keep people trapped in cycles of confusion and limitation. Your wisdom isn't meant to be hoarded. It is meant to uplift, to enlighten, and to help those who are ready. The regret others feel is not your burden to carry. It is their lesson to learn. And whether they acknowledge it or not, your presence has already impacted their lives in ways they might not even fully grasp yet. So, stay true to your path. Never shrink yourself to fit into the expectations of those who once doubted you. Let your wisdom be a light for those who are willing to receive it, and have the discernment to recognize when someone is only returning out of guilt rather than genuine growth. Your journey isn't about who regrets not believing in you. It's about how you continue to evolve, inspire, and live in alignment with your truth. The chosen ones will always stand out. And while some may only realize your worth too late, what truly matters is that you never forget it. If this message resonates with you, comment, "I see it now," to affirm the truth, or "not convinced" if you see it differently. Let's discuss in the comments. 9. You don't need their recognition. You never needed validation, because deep down, you always knew the truth. The wisdom within you has always been your guiding light, shining even when others doubted or dismissed you. You have walked a path that few could understand, carrying an inner knowing that set you apart. People questioned your insights, ignored your advice, and even ridiculed your beliefs. But now, the same individuals who once dismissed you are beginning to realize just how wise you truly are. The truth does not require approval. It stands firm on its own. As Mark Twain once said, "A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes." But the truth always prevails. You spoke from a place of deep spiritual wisdom, yet many could not grasp it at the time. Now, as life unfolds, they see that your words carried weight, and the warnings you gave were not baseless. They regret not believing you, not heeding your advice, and not recognizing the gift of insight you offered. You do not dwell on their regrets because you have already moved forward. You understand that spiritual growth requires leaving behind those who are not yet ready to awaken. Their lessons are theirs to learn. You are not here to save everyone, nor are you responsible for their choices. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You have always been that teacher, but many were not ready to listen. Now, they face the consequences of their disbelief, and they can no longer ignore the reality of what you once tried to share. You are already ahead, walking a path of higher consciousness. You have been tested, doubted, and underestimated, yet you remain unshaken. They will never forget that you were right, not because you need their recognition, but because the truth has revealed itself in undeniable ways. Your spiritual journey has been one of resilience, wisdom, and unwavering faith. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Your wisdom placed you steps ahead, and now the world sees it. For those who doubted you, regret becomes their most painful lesson. They now wish they had listened, that they had taken your words to heart. But while they dwell on what could have been, you continue moving forward, embracing your purpose with confidence. Regret has its own purpose. It awakens people to the truth they once refused to see. And perhaps, through their regret, they will finally begin their own spiritual awakening. Chosen one, never dim your light to make others comfortable. Your wisdom is a gift, and not everyone will appreciate it in the moment. Keep trusting yourself, keep speaking truth, and keep walking your path. The ones who are meant to see will eventually open their eyes. And for those who refuse to believe, the weight of their regret is theirs to carry. You were never wrong. You were always ahead. And now, they finally see. 10. The power of your presence. You have always carried a deep sense of wisdom within you, but many around you failed to see it. Instead of embracing your insights, they dismissed your words, laughed at your convictions, and even ridiculed your beliefs. But time has a way of revealing the truth. And now, as life unfolds, those same individuals who once doubted you are beginning to recognize the depth of your spiritual wisdom. You have always stood apart, not because you sought attention, but because your energy is different. You radiate a presence that cannot be ignored, even by those who once turned their backs on you. They may not openly acknowledge your influence, but deep down, they feel it. Whether it is in moments of struggle or when they seek clarity, they find themselves thinking about your words, recalling the wisdom you shared long before they were ready to accept it. Your presence lingers in their thoughts, a silent force that continues to guide them even in your absence. True wisdom is not just about speaking profound words, it is about living them, and that is exactly what you have done. While others merely talked, you walked the path. You embodied the lessons you shared, demonstrating through action what it means to live with spiritual depth and understanding. Those who once dismissed you as an idealist or dreamer now see that you were never just talking, you were leading the way. They are beginning to grasp that your insights were not empty words, but guiding principles that could have saved them from their struggles had they chosen to listen earlier. Truth has a way of making its presence known, no matter how much people try to ignore it. The words you spoke, the lessons you lived, and the love you showed were never in vain. Though they once mocked you, ridiculed your beliefs, or considered you too different, life has a way of opening their eyes. Now, they find themselves drawn back to the very wisdom they once rejected. Perhaps they have faced hardships that forced them to seek answers, or maybe they simply matured enough to understand what you were trying to teach all along. Regardless of the reason, the truth you shared has remained with them, and now they finally see its value. There is always a moment of realization and awakening where people look back and regret not listening to the one who tried to show them the way. Someone who once ignored your guidance, brushed off your words, or even distanced themselves from you, now carries a heavy burden of regret. They wish they had believed in you sooner, that they had understood the significance of what you were offering. Life has shown them that not everyone possesses the depth of wisdom and clarity that you do. They now recognize that your spiritual insight was never meant to control or manipulate, but rather to uplift and guide. And while they cannot turn back time, they now seek the very knowledge they once rejected. The journey of a chosen one is often lonely, but it is never in vain. Your wisdom, your presence, and your truth are seeds planted in the hearts of those around you. Some may take years to grow, while others may bloom unexpectedly. Keep walking your path, keep shining your light, and never doubt the impact you are making. The world may not always recognize wisdom immediately, but eventually, even the most resistant will see the truth. And when they do, they will remember you as the one who stood firm, the one who never wavered, and the one whose wisdom changed their lives in ways they never anticipated. To affirm the power of your presence, declare your truth. Comment below, "My presence speaks," to acknowledge your journey and inspire others to embrace their own silent influence. As a chosen one, your wisdom shines through, and people are finally starting to see the truth. While some may regret not believing in you sooner, your journey is not about proving them wrong. It's about stepping into your divine purpose with confidence. Keep moving forward, stay true to yourself, and let your light continue to inspire. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. And be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss our powerful upcoming videos. Keep shining, and I'll see you in the next one.